Welcome to the Blathering Live. I'm Ken Napzok here live on a Monday, 5 p.m. in the Pacific. Episode, I think, up to 270 of this program. This program's still going. Yo-Yo Blatherino says Alan Smithy checking in there. Ingvia. Now I'm just doing it like an asshole. Way to stutter stall. Jared the TIE Pilot is here. Laserball. James Holmes checking in. UK. Poor Detective McCarsall hasn't been around the show for a while because he's working another closing shift. So, you know what? You work hard. You're building for your future. Brennan Marr, a channel member for 35 months, says hello there. Sorry I can't be with you tonight. But hey, I appreciate that support. Also, Ethan Osvetnik, or Ethnic, over here listening to you weirdos. Absolutely. Will McLean says 8 p.m. here in the best time zone. He knows that's a lie. Deep down in his soul, he knows he's a liar, pants on fire. Wiley's here. Maybe we'll get an advice update. Maybe we will. David's here as well. Mandalorian Jedi, a.k.a. Scarlet Wolf, greetings and salutations. And you know who's here as well? Producer Steve is here as well. And Steve Areno. Let's all just do shitty Rob Schneider characters. How are you doing, buddy?
Oh, yeah. I never played a toaster or a gigolo, but man, Rob Schneider was one of those. Like, as a kid, he was so funny, and then and then, like, once you turn 14, you're like, oh, this isn't actually funny.
I agree with that. There we go. I love when the show
associated with Rob Schneider again.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I know you're great. The reason I love doing a live show, and it's really hard for me to market this live show because I just this is a radio show for the modern age. So if we want to do 2 minutes on Rob Schneider's characters, which I at one point thought were funny, and now he's an absolute mess of a alt-right monster, we could do that too as well. Rad says 8 a.m. in the time zone of the righteous. You know, I can't compete with that. I can't compete with that. The Doritos here has been a fan of since the news and drunk movie fights. I'm glad you're here. Appreciate that. There you go. So, man, my camera's really close on me tonight, Steve. Why didn't you tell me my face is all up in your face? I don't want to scare everyone with the face there. So as always, we'll talk. We're going to have some fun tonight. It's Advice Monday. If you got some advice, need for some advice, put it in the comments, put all caps advice, and then ask your question. Or if you can call in, that'd be great. You can call in if you're a YouTube channel member and get the link, or on Patreon at patreon.com/Ken Napzok. Get in there. New episode of Pop Rockin' Radio is available for everyone on Patreon or Mixcloud. I wanted to do that because I've been repping the hat of my buddy Darina, DJ Bruja, and she released that single a couple weeks ago now. And I helped her make her radio debut on Pop Rockin' Radios. It was played on Hall of Fame Music Radio Live. So I want more people to hear music. So, and I'd like you all to check out Pop Rockin' Radio. So maybe you can jump over to Patreon and get that every week. Or roughly every week, when I can get to the show, I'll be honest. But head on over there. So we got all that. So I want your advice calls. I want that. I want the updates. I think we've got a call from Wiley coming in. But Steve, as always, this show often runs in and around and through the real world. And right now we have a war going on. And I have actually seen some folks, some pundits, some people smarter than me go, yeah, I think we can call this World War III. I don't think we're adopting the stationary for that yet. I don't think Ken Burns is adding a chapter in any doc yet. But we're here, says some experts that scared me over lunch. I want to talk about this a little bit, Steve, but I ask you, how are you doing, and how are you doing with all this?
I'm doing as well as I can be with the supposed World War III going on. And here's the thing, Ken, it is not World War III. World War III doesn't start until Josh Hartnett looks over at Ben Affleck and says, oh, yeah, I think World War III just started. Until then, it hasn't actually happened yet. So we're not there yet.
Okay.
3 countries is more of a menage a war, if you will, more than a world war. So we're, let's build up the energy a little bit, like get a few more folks involved first. If we get like a whole other hemisphere, another continent, and if we get 3 continents, then okay, I'll give it to you. But
I do agree.
We got a few more thresholds.
It's the multiple theaters, right?
Yeah. Oh, I love a good theater. Oh, yeah. I love opening a new theater. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And look, I on Saturday, on Silly Saturdays, which we always want to turn off our brains, I addressed it a little bit. Not everyone, I think, maybe understood what I was saying. It's like, this whole thing it ain't good. I don't think you can find many wars throughout history good. And there has already been tragic consequences and casualties. The school of girls in Iran being destroyed, and last count I saw 148 lives lost. Yet not good. Nothing I would ever say would indicate that was a good thing or something I agree with. There's just, I used the term complicated on Saturday because it's complicated in the sense of this just world on fire, and everywhere you turn, and was this, we don't want to support this regime, but we should let this regime go. But also Iran's been doing, and I don't have any answers. This is all bad, Steve, is my thought. And it's overwhelmed me and has affected me a little bit. We're going to talk about generational war trauma a little bit here in a moment, but this is, I've had to turn away from the news, not because I'm exhausted like we are on some days. I've had to turn away from the news because, man, I'm going to get myself real scared.
No, I think that's fair. And I mean, I've turned away from it a little bit just because the last 2 days, like when these kinds of things happen, the news just goes, the news goes into overdrive as far as over informing us. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but they're just so, it's just so much 24/7. And after a while, if nothing new happens, it's kind of just a little bit of noise, and then the punditry ramps up, and it gets to be a lot more than what's actually happening. So that's when the fear sets in. That's when all the what ifs start to float, and that's when all the different crazy ideas, instead of what's actually happening, being reported. The problem is the administration is being pretty much the opposite of transparent when it comes to what's happening. We're getting very short, if any, answers at all about the situation and what's going on. The reporting we've gotten, the most reliable reporting we've gotten, has been from outlets, whether it's the BBC or other international news organizations that are in Iran. Yeah. Exactly. So. Because we have to take what the Rubio says at a podium with a grain of salt, more than you ever thought you would as an American citizen from your government, whether you're left, right, sideways, or nothing. That sounds soapboxy and stuff. But at the end of the day, Ken, we're just two dudes at the end of the bar talking about like our experience with what we're seeing this, right? Like geopolitics is hard. No one, if anyone's watching this show expecting you to have the answer to how we can avoid war in the Middle East, Ken, then dear God, if I'm not getting paid enough, you certainly are not getting paid enough.
Yeah, but happy to talk about it. Happy to not have a show that gets to ignore it anymore, And again, Silly Saturdays, we'll do our silly things. We're going to take advice calls. Wiley Todd's going to update us on his dating life. There's a lot of things that I think are valuable to our mental health, but I like just acknowledging the times that we're in, and this war has already seen loss of U.S. military life. And I said this to you off air, and I'll say it carefully, like, without the tragedy and the implications, this would be comically bad, like in this dark comedy farce.
It's farcical. It's farcical. That's the best way to put it. Yeah.
Because we have, and God bless the farce. I know none of the pilots are injured or dead. I know at least I saw one eject, but I don't want to spread misinformation, but like 3 of our jets being shot down in a friendly fire accident, that happens, and that's not it. But it's just like you hear that headline, what's going on? The plan. Also, the fact that reporting that the president's a little shocked at some of the responses from Iran. I was telling you off air of the watching. I think it was an ambassador or someone from Iran on a U.S. news show, and they were getting him to say like, hey, Iran have no plans to launch missiles, even if we could reach U.S. soil, but we're going to attack your bases. And the news anchors were like, okay, that's great, but why is that the line? Why are you attacking the U.S. bases? And the Iranian guy was literally went, you guys are shooting us. What do you want me to say here? Like that. And then, are you familiar with the TMZ story?
No, I heard you mention this. I want to know what this is about. Aside from apparently, I need to go to dinner more in DC is what I've learned about this story. So please enlighten us on this. But man, I really need to get out more.
Yeah, you do. Please, let's do it now. Head to that. What's that circle? What's that circle there?
Oh, DuPont Circle.
DuPont Circle. Walk through there many times.
You think I can afford you don't pay me for this show. You think I can afford dinner at DuPont Circle? A cocktail's like $70.
Mark Ellis and I, every time we're in DC, we have to walk through DuPont to get over to the comedy club we perform at. And they are all young Politico yuppies. It was interesting to walk through there. And every restaurant closed at like 9.
The aura is you walk by and you just like instinctively, even if you don't have one, you instinctively want to cover your drink just as you walk by that entire crowd. And that's just the best way I could describe it.
So roughly, so TMZ, the Harvey Levin run gossip rag, The one thing I'll say, and I've known some people actually have worked for them, so I don't want to cast general aspersions, but it's tabloid shit, and we all can get pulled in at that. Like, what dress is Kylie Kardashian wearing? I get it, and I don't hold anyone to the flame for watching either. But they're always getting information, and that is not, whether it's good or bad, and what they do with the information, I think, is often bad, or the way they deliver it is bad. But it's pretty fascinating. They always do. They're always bribing some doorman. They're always on the case before news or even local authorities, I think. The quick story is Harvey was on his show, Harvey Levin, and he had one of his older correspondents, an older dude, and the dude was in D.C., and they were talking, and the guy was like, hey, I can't – this – and by the way, so the context – this is before our first strikes of Iran started. And the guy's like, oh, my God, like, I just had dinner, and there's 4 fucking assholes from the Trump admin that are blabbing about some sort of war plans going on. I think something's happening in Iran. This is hours before it happened. So these fucksticks are just going around town with all these young political guys just blabbing about all this shit. And that makes even the loss of life even more tragic. But you know what I mean? When it's like, it's beyond farce. Veep can't keep up with this. The Death of Stalin movie, which you love, now seems tame. Like, that's what I mean when this is just insane.
I had another cough. This is how we'll start making some real money, Ken. I'm gonna start going to happy hour in DuPont Circle.
Yes.
I'll have water. I'll make it look like I'm having alcohol.
Yeah.
And then we'll just start betting on Kalshi so that we'll know all the shit that's actually going, because that's all they're doing. That's how they're making all their money, right? That's all this is happening. Someone made something like 800,000, I think. What was it on Friday night? Because there was, when are we going to a war with, or will the United States strike Iran within the next week? Boom.
Wow.
Money signs. So and it's already being investigated too, apparently. Investigated. We know who's on the board over there, so we'll see whatever happens. But it's
and
it's crazy. TMZ gets that shit right, by the way, because like especially in sports and stuff, they tend to like it's salacious, sure, but like they're not wrong. They're very rarely wrong.
They're absolutely going. They're going straight to the, like I said, the doormen, the workers, the drivers. They've got that. They've got that locked up. That's how you do it. And you off air. I want to talk about the Jim Carrey thing, because I think that is I think that's just a look into where we are in a lot of ways. I want to talk about that, but you had said you wanted to welcome Gen Z to their first like official war trauma, which we're constantly in some state of war. So, but I know what you mean. What do you think?
Yeah, so I mean, it's too bad like Brady isn't here. I think Eli is here, so that he can be our Zoomer Gen Z representative for the evening as a resident. But yeah, I would just like to say welcome to your generational war trauma of another war in the Middle East. Gen X had the OG Iraq War. From the invasion of Kuwait. My millennial ass had 9/11 and Afghanistan, and then Iraq for whatever reason. And now all these years later, you guys get
regime change.
Regime change. Yeah, hey, everyone loves a good regime. It's without you can look. A United States administration going 10 years without a regime change is a dull affair. Okay, we got to get those in there every so often. So because to be fair, we had Libya too. The Dems aren't innocent on this. Okay, so it goes both ways.
Absolutely, you're 100% right. Yeah.
So I was gonna say I wanted to make a video to teach Brady and Eli how to dig a foxhole, but not only did we get 3 inches of snow here today, my wife told me like absolutely not.
Really?
So not only because I think I would have to like call someone to like this call before you dig kind of thing, and they're gonna ask, well, why are you digging a giant hole in your backyard? And if I said, well, I'm gonna do a YouTube tutorial on how to dig a foxhole, if I'm not on a list already, Ken, that probably would have raised a flag or two. So yeah.
Now,
and then the wife's sake, no, that's
the important thing. Alan points out Mogadishu as well. Yeah, the list goes on and on. I want to come back to that. I think it's an excellent point about the trauma. But how deep are your foxholes? How deep do you need to go?
I mean, deep enough so that if you're like in the fetal position, you're at least covered. A little bit if you're like at like a 45-ish degree angle. So I'm thinking So no, six. That's a little morbid, Jared. A 6-foot foxhole is, if we're really just giving up. But I think you need like a solid 3 to 4 feet of depth so you can kind of get under there. You know who I bet digs a great foxhole other than Laserbolt, because that's the lazy answer? Sean. I bet Sean McCabe digs a hell of a foxhole.
Oh, yeah. If we need to do a Blathering build your bunker foxhole thing, Sean is our instructor. Absolutely. Sean's here as well.
So Zoomers, welcome to the party. So this one really has it all, right? Like Trump is really playing the hits on this one. Aside from, and again, we're not really trying to make light of all the seriousness of this, but we really are.
We're trying to process it. This is what I do as a stand-up comic sometimes on stage. Yes, sometimes you go at things that are filled with trauma and tragedy, but this is American, or not American. This is our human minds. I can't confuse American with human. That's the problem, huh? But you know what I mean? Our minds need to wrap our head around it. So I think you're continue.
Non-existent WMDs, check. We went from obliterating the nuclear program to having to do a massive military campaign to prevent them from an imminent threat against us. Whatever. I'm not going to pick hairs. Religious extremism, check.
Right.
That's
check.
Whole generation's going to learn all about that. And then 21st century nation building, baby. We're going to learn all about that on a whole different scale. And this time, according to Hegseth, 100% woke free nation building, which means figure your shit out.
Which means religious extremism.
Exactly. See step 2, Ken. See step 2.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, at Hegseth, if you are not clued in to Pete Hegseth's pastor, I keep mentioning it. It's what we're talking about a lot over on Culture, Faith, and Politics with Pat Conkey. If you are not clued in to who Doug Wilson is out of Moscow, Idaho, and the church he is and his beliefs, the books he puts out, everything he said, slavery was a time of racial harmony. We should have household voting again. We should abolish the 19th Amendment. If you are not aware who is in Pete Hegseth's ears as he says a lot of the shit he says, read up on Doug Wilson fast.
Yeah, not great, Ken. And also the other thing is, so Iran, at least we have a new country this time, because at least with millennials, we got Afghanistan, which again was a little bit of retread, Gen X with the Soviets and all what happened there. That was in the news a lot. So that's when people really learned about Afghanistan. But for us millennials, that's the first time I ever heard about Afghanistan. But then Iraq was really a bit of a sequel, a bit of a retread.
It was going back to Tatooine.
It was even the same. It was even the same president. You know what I mean? The same name, not the same president, but the same name. It was like we had a Bush going to Iraq. It was like, oh man, we really like that unoriginal. So Iran, we're learning a whole new geography, beautiful country, geographically. So there'll be a whole new thing about kids are going to learn about their version of Kabul and the Kandahar region of Afghanistan, all these different things about all these different regions of wars that we wouldn't know otherwise unless we were, sending our troops there to fight.
Mine was 91, Desert Storm, and it's weird to look back at that. This is why I'm glad I wanted to talk a little bit about it. And that's why I say no expert on all this, no expert on trauma. I'm just like, it does put an imprint on your brain, and then there's a weird association with it that goes beyond the actual horrors of war and the loss of life and all those things. So like when I think of Desert Storm, I think of trading cards put out by Topps and ProSet. I think of getting my General Norman Schwarzkopf card and collect them all. Collect Donald Rumsfeld. Collect Dick Cheney. Like literally, they marketed the war, but also the trauma angle of it is real because it's like, even at that age, I'm in high school. I'm like 9th or 10th grade. I'm at the am I next to go type of you don't know the difference of Vietnam era draft and what's happening now, just that. So you're scared. And then it isn't history. You're not reading the pages of a history book about World War II. You're not reading a comic book about Vietnam, but I think already by the late 80s, and my uncles and my dad were over in Vietnam. My dad and his brother were in the Navy, so it was a different experience, to be clear. But my other Uncle Jim watched his best friend in high school die in front of him in Vietnam. So I was around that stuff, but it wasn't discussed in a way that made it anything deeper than comic books or some sort of G.I. Joe adventure, right? It's this disassociation. 91 was the first time where I'm watching Bernard Shaw and Charles Jaco and Peter Arnett, and they're in the hotel in Baghdad, and all the tracers are going, and it just your young brain can't really, I think, process it, and so it definitely left a mark. It definitely left a mark. So That's why I think it's important for you to bring it up.
Yeah, no, totally. And I had the exact same experiences like, that you're describing, but for me, it was the bombing campaign in December of 2001 in Afghanistan, and then shock and awe in 2003.
Yep.
When Wolf Blitzer was on air and walking us through us bombing the shit out of Baghdad. So, and all over Iraq, really. And then as that whole kind of thing unfolded. So, yeah, and now this entire now again, the kids of this age have seen kind of an even more connected world than the two instances that we talked about, right? Because obviously the Palestine-Israel conflict has been a huge thing.
Right.
Russia and Ukraine has been a huge thing. But aside from kind of the wind down of our involvement in Iraq and Afghanistan, you know, the kids who are just now coming of age, coming into you know, the workforce, so to speak, becoming adults, have kind of not seen this level of America on the offense in that sense. You know what I mean? And seeing what the world's reaction is to like that. You know, kids don't remember how big the protests were in 2003 against the Iraq War, just like just how massive some of that was. And so you're gonna get a Hegseth skin in Fortnite soon, I'm sure.
That's the modern version of it.
We at least got Call of Duty games. I mean, that was like the version they threw at us. So what are you gonna do?
Ochi Eli did not know this. This was their Halliburton trading card. No, there wasn't.
No, those were the land cards. The Halliburton cards and the corporations. Those were just the land and like the mana cards. That's all. They weren't worth anything.
I have some of them. I opened them up on Sports Card ASMR a while ago. Picked them up at a card shop, but I had them back in the day. Eli Topps, the major trading card company, and ProSet, which had just entered the scene as the official card of NFL, both released Desert Storm cards during the war, and I still look back and I can't understand. I need to know the history of it. We should probably do a Blathering doc about it. But yes, Eli, you literally had different categories. So you had leaders, and it would be Dick Cheney, Donald Rumsfeld, George H. Walker, or H.W. Bush. Then you had, the villain cards. And I would say and then you'd had like regions. And actually it was almost educational. You were like Lebanon, there's all this stuff. I have the Greenland one, and Iceland one, because they're involvement. And then weapons and vehicles. Yeah. Weapons and vehicles, planes and this and that. It was a weird, G.I. Joe, I came up in the 80s where G.I. Joe was a toy book for the military and the military propaganda. But I was a big fan of it. You don't think of it in those terms. So I can't explain it. It was just a weird section of history, pop culture history.
Hey, kids, this is what an F-14 is.
Mm-hmm.
This is what a Tomahawk missile is. It's got the stats on the back. It goes 487 miles per hour. It has a cruising altitude of, that's what it was.
And I got my Schwarzkopf, and I was super excited, and that is still, I have it still. It is still valuable.
Were any of them like holographic? Did they have like special holographic ones?
No,
before that.
I mean, the holograph stuff was out, but it was pretty straightforward. And then they also released, Topps released a baseball card set that was imprinted as Desert Storm. And that was specifically, it was a small run, it was a small print, and that was for the soldiers, which I think is a great idea. But those have leaked out. So if you get a Chipper Jones #1 draft pick rookie card in the Topps Desert Storm thing, you're buying a new car if you sell it. It's like it's a crazy thing. Yeah. So crazy.
And to be fair, for context, this is a totally different context with what we're seeing on Iran in the first Iraq War. Like Iraq invaded Kuwait, we responded as being that was a world police kind of thing, but justified, I think, on the world stage a little bit. Different circumstances. It's just we're really playing the hits here, folks. It's been 30 years, and we can't come up with anything different than every 15 years, 20 years, we're going to get at war with a country in the Middle East. We're going to somehow come away with more oil than we walked into it with. Yeah. And, a lot of people are about to make a lot of money, Ken, but it's not us.
Yeah. No,
not from that, at least. Not from that. We're going to make a lot of money from other stuff.
Yeah, we'll bet. All right, so there you go. War talk. I just, obviously it's on our brains, and I don't want to shy away from it. I also don't want to live in it completely for an entire show. The other thing I want to talk about, Steve, how familiar are you with the Jim Carrey controversy from this past weekend?
I heard some rumblings. I saw a lot of things online about what happened to Jim Carrey was I think the question I saw most. I
Yeah,
was concerned and thought he like got hurt or something
something had
or something
happened. Yeah,
bad happened. But no, he made an appearance at an award show and
in Paris. Yeah.
in Paris, and people were shocked at his appearance. Ken
Yeah, so he's 64 years old, and looks good. But
did
what
not
had
have that. Jim Carrey for 64 would not have had that. Okay.
So we're gonna put it side by side, and I want to say right now before we do this, this is nothing to do with mocking anyone who would want to change their face to do anything with their face, man, woman. Otherwise, it does not. Never my intention. Are there cases where you're like, I wouldn't do that? Yes, we all have those thoughts. But this isn't to mock. This is just to bring up this thing because Jim Carrey ain't the problem here in this story. It's the way the internet reacts, Steve.
Right.
And I look
right.
at the state of the world, and I look like while a lot of us are like, oh God, make it all stop. And I think it's these things that actually make it spin out more wildly. So we'll do a side-by-side comparison. Jim Carrey 2022, Jim Carrey in 2026. Little longer hair, same teeth and eyes, but we got some work done. This is what's going on. The cheeks are a little on the 2026. They're a little they pop a little more. We'll say. The eyes cleaned up a little bit. Some nips, some tucks. But beyond that, people, Steve, when he was speaking, he was receiving this award. It didn't. I'll say this. It didn't seem like Jim Carrey that we had known in the past. So his behavior was a little different, his voice tone a little bit, but it was still Jim Carrey. If you watch him up there, it's Jim Carrey. But so the internet takes over, and beyond just like, ooh, what did Jim Carrey do to his face or that kind of narrative, it was like, is this an impersonator?
Right.
And that caught wildfire, and there's actually like kind of normal people who were like diving in on it, saying that it was an impersonator or a clone. And then even today, some like makeup artist is trying to, I'm sure joking, but trying to claim it was him. And he even showed a mask with the Eiffel Tower in the back. And the fact that this had breadth beyond 1 hour and dominated the weekend to where Jim Carrey's people actually had to say, yeah, it's Jim Carrey. Steve, I want you to explain it all to me. Here, right now.
I'll do my best, Ken, and the best I can do is I've seen a Mission Impossible movie. Okay, I know how good those face masks are that you can just like take off and like be somebody else all the time, instantly with how good the prosthetics and everything are.
Yeah.
So I think this is I think yes, obviously. I mean, based on the photos there, Jim Carrey looks different at 64 than he did when he was younger, and there are some enhancements he may have made, and that's not what we're getting out from hey, he looks different. But the idea that what this reminded me of, Ken? This reminded me of the girl who was on the plane that was yelling at the back of the plane, saying, "Who is that? What is that guy doing?" You know what I mean? That's what this reminded me of. Like that got legs in the same way that this got legs. You know what I mean? So it's like, is the internet just that bored? Are we just running out of creativity to a sense in our weird conspiracies, or are we just becoming more gullible? Or AI is just so scary that we're just willing to believe these silly things because we're holding on to the last vestiges of human creativity?
Yeah. Narcolepsis is 200,000 carries already, with a million more on the way. Obi-Wan's here. No, and that's where I was kind of, this has happened before. Like Addy mentions Renee Zellweger a few years back, showed up, had some work done.
It's a good example.
And like I said, again, the pressures of being a woman, the pressures of being a woman in Hollywood, like that's normal. I remember first photo showed up. I couldn't have, I was like, oh, who is that? Oh, okay. I get it. I get when your reaction can be like that. I don't know if you have anyone in your life, Steve, who has work done. When you walk into a room and you're like, whoa, they're like, it's hard not to have the, Wayne's World, don't look at the guy with the bad eye kind of like reaction. I get that. There's also something to be said about the way, especially someone like Renee Zellweger took all those barbs for, just simply, again, being a woman in Hollywood here. But it was the energy behind that's not really Jim. And that carried the day. I don't know what to do, but I think you're right. Maybe there's maybe it's just processing. And the fact that he was cloned. Do you think there's any other celebrity clones out there? How many Tom Cruises do you think there are?
Oh, I mean, I think we're on at least we're on at least 6.0, 7.0 for Cruz. Don't you think? I mean, from all the running, like all of the stunts that he does, the age that he's holding onto the side of planes, like there's no, like we lost at least 2 or 3 cruises filming the side of the plane stunt,
I think
right?
you're right.
Like,
I think you're
you know what I mean? But they just have his consciousness. He's the first guy. Maybe this is where Scientology got it right and we're all just wrong. But maybe they were the first ones to figure out the whole, like, hey, let's upload the consciousness into something so that way if one cruise vessel goes kaput in a stunt, we can just do another one. Would I do that?
Yeah. You want to load your mind into another meat sack?
Yeah. Why not?
I think I might.
I'll be honest. Boring, Ken. That sounds boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
You know.
Yeah. I'll take a clone of myself.
What's the worst thing that could happen? I die again somehow, or like or I take over the world. Like what's the bad side?
Be like the Prestige. I think Ochi fences were probably on cruise 8. I believe that. I don't know. I don't believe in reincarnation, but the idea that you could take my soul and inject it into some other meat sack. I think there's there's different things I'd want to experience.
So when we say soul, I don't want to get too deep here, but like. Okay. To me, that means like consciousness, right? Because I'm a moron, Ken. I don't know anything about anything.
What is life?
But that is what like our sentience is, our consciousness, right? Like I don't think that my dog is sitting there on the bed having the same inner thoughts that I do about like what am I doing today? You know what I mean? I think they're a little more like, do I have to eat? No. Do I have to pee? Yeah. No. Okay, I'm gonna fall asleep.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean?
I'm looking at Franny right now, but yeah, I think you're right.
Franny, deep in thought, you think maybe?
Yeah,
but
she's.
So that inner monologue, that consciousness is, I think, one of the things that separates us. And so, like, that's kind of the thing that I think I would want transferred. Like, so it's more like your brain, like, from a, like, computerized, like, version of it almost, in a sense, where it's like, I don't know, there's probably a few terabytes up there that I would fit onto something
Move
that
it
you
over.
could probably buy at Best Buy. Yeah.
I think I might give it a go, everybody. I might give it a go. Let's take some advice calls. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I don't know if he has. Oh, and we're going to determine, we got to determine a new bracket, aren't we?
Yes. That's the other thing we want to talk about. Yeah. It's March. It's officially March.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we need to determine what the bracket will be.
And we're going to do a little shorter this time around, but we're going to do it 16, a little bit.
Yes. We'll do 16. We'll do 16 whatevers. And we'll have a good time. That way we can knock it out in one episode.
16, the 16 greatest, wars that were mistakes. No. So if you have a thought, we'll set up in the Discord, and we'll get some ideas going. What our March? I can't believe it's been a year, Steve.
I know.
Wow.
I know. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, to be fair, we were like 3 weeks late, so our bracket did start in like April. But yeah. We're getting
okay. Yeah. Wow. A lot has changed. A lot has changed. Alan, I like Alan. I don't want the answers. He says dogs think about smells. They dream smells. I don't want the answers. I want to believe that my dog right now, little Franny down there, is thinking about kibbles and bits and run around the backyard chasing squirrels. A squirrel almost went like we were like 1 inch of a squirrel on Chihuahua battle today.
But you know what Franny's not dreaming about? A rant.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference, Ken.
I think so. So there you go. All right, let's take a call. Let's I don't know. It's Advice Monday. So if you got a need for advice, again, you're here to make the show alive and well, folks. Put in the comments. You don't have to call in. Put just all caps advice, and then we will try to give you advice, and the audience will chime in. Wiley, I think had to go, so hopefully he'll get him back in for a call. Also, we got a great catchphrase. You and I are kind of working on a new demo for the little minute kind of trailer for the channel. You and I have been talking about this. We might have a new catchphrase here. The Blathering Live. If you want to know if you should sleep with a married person or not, this is the show for you. Thank you, Alan. I think we scared JMB. It's a live call-in show as well, so call in, become a channel member. It doesn't even have to be advice. Just want to chat to you tonight. Open forum tonight till about 6 here. So let's do this here. Our first call comes from, oh no, he's naked. Hey, you know what? He made his
first time they've seen it.
That's true. Well, that's true. And Jared made his face debut on Casterly Talk this week with a look at episode 4 of season 8. All right, Jared. Hi, how are you? And do you have a need for advice?
I'm doing okay. Another fabulous Monday. I made the classic. Oh, I got to leave work a little early today to make a doctor's appointment. We get there. Oh, your appointment's tomorrow.
I love that. I've
course it is.
done that. I've done the miss. I've missed things. You know, show up the day after. You can do that. You can do that.
Have you ever done that for a flight? Have you ever gotten a flight or like a ticket so wrong that you were just there on the exact wrong day?
Not me.
I did that once. I did that.
Wow.
I thought I booked a flight like for the right day. I booked it for a Thursday. I thought I booked it for a Friday, and yeah, just straight up showed up on the wrong day. The ticket lady was just like, he looked at me like, you idiot.
Yeah, I know. I've done that. I've done the movie ticket thing of like the wrong showing. I've had wrong day, wrong time. The best one recently for me is my buddy Matt Key and I went to see Fantastic Four. He bought the tickets. He had just had a major medical emergency that I was there spending the weekend with him just to watch over him because his wife had to travel. Because you know why, Steve? I'm a goddamn good guy. And I stayed the weekend with my buddy Matt, holding his hand around the house. Do you need some applesauce, Matt? No, it wasn't like that. But we went to see Fantastic Four. Not only wrong theater, like theater number 10. No, wrong theater. Wrong time, wrong day. We had a showing for a movie, the Fantastic Four, like 10 miles away. And we sat through 5 minutes of your favorite F1 or whatever the racing movie you love.
Excellent. Excellent.
All right.
First
Serenity says, Serenity Jensen got my advice from the Discord. So, okay. You guys are handling business there. So there you go. Jared, any need for advice?
Oh God, so much, but
Okay.
you know, I'm actually one thing I've been trying to get myself motivated for. So this is a how do I find a motivation style. I used to make like your buddy Joseph was a short filmmaker guy, had a short film and a couple of film festivals here and there, but
and a feature. His feature is now in the film festival.
Yes, I'm just very happy for Joseph. If you're in the area, go see his. A little jealous, but that's besides the point.
This is honest.
Okay.
But I haven't had a short film come out since 2014. That was my last hurrah, and I'm starting to get the itch, but also lacking the motivation. Just the way the world is, money. Just how do I find the motivation to get back into this?
This is great. Look, for the money is realistic. I get that. Money is realistic. Because even if even if you're like, fuck it, we're going to shoot it on the iPhone. Like, you're still dealing with the lack of money and how do you get people to help you? So I think that's real. You just got to face that and find a way around it. As far as the state of the world, I'm not saying you're wrong to kind of, be a little overwhelmed by it. But to me, that is even more reason to make the art. That is even more reason to reach out and hold the hand of the person you want to hold the hand of. That is even more reason to live life, Jared. So I think that's where you should start your motivation there and decide what you want to say to the world. And then also, just start. Don't think big, just start. First step. Steve, your thoughts?
Only Jared's.
Only Jared's.
I love you, Steve.
That's the answer.
All right. Only Jared's.
Sell your body.
Trust me,
you'll be fine.
I'm sure I'm not the only one in this this stream / chat that has been like, are my feet good enough?
I mean, you all told me to do it, but I don't think.
Ken, I'm not famous enough, but I have nice feet. Like
I don't think you need to be. I think you just need to get on there and do it.
No, I think you need to be like a kind of.
Steve,
I think you need to know like. See, here's the thing though, Ken, is like if you don't like your feet though, you use my feet. We'll just like we'll fake it. You know what I mean? I'll whore out my feet for you.
But I don't think it matters. I just think you got to get into the.
It doesn't matter, Steve.
Only feet ecosystem.
Like the wiki feet. I just got to upload it. All right, Well, then someone. I just need an agent, and someone can do this. I'm not going to do this for myself because that was the red line for me. If someone does it for me, I'll do it. But
yeah, I don't think I'm on Wiki Feet. I'm going to check Wiki Feet. I'm gonna check Wiki Feet right now to see if I'm on there. I don't think I'm on there. I know people who are on there.
Ken, do we want to know your search history?
I think we've done this show. I think I looked this up and you weren't there.
Did we?
Jesus.
As the show been so long that now we're just repeating bits.
I think
Yeah,
we're playing heads.
I have no surprise female friends that I know that are on here, but I think I know some men.
I'm a house cat, Ken. I've never done hard labor. I didn't make the track team, so I wasn't running a ton. You know what I mean? Like my feet are very soft and
you're a perfect candidate.
I think
you're a perfect candidate.
Yeah.
So Jared, any advice hitting? Did we help? Are you going to race out tomorrow?
Yeah, no, I've got the outline in my head. So
okay,
I think first step, like you said, baby steps. Let's put thought to pen.
Thought to pen. All right. Do you need an accountability group? Do we need to post something in the Discord and keep on you? Does that work for you? Some people that doesn't work.
It definitely. Let's put it this way: it doesn't discourage. So it'll either help or I just won't care, kind of thing. I'm not gonna. I won't tell people. I know. I don't fight back against it, but I can be like our buddy Wiley. I'll check in on Mondays, let you know how it's coming.
Okay, I like that. Okay, I can deal with that.
We're also starting a new drinking game. Every time you start talking and you're muted, it's shots.
Damn it! Don't do. Oh no, please! Oh, that makes me, as a journalism student, that makes me feel.
Okay, I'd rather be careful. Jared, thank you. I'm going to get Wiley on. Speaking of that, and we're going to get an update. Keep us updated, my friend.
Always. Thank you. See you Thursday.
All right. Advice Monday. If you got a need for advice, call in. Or if you just want to call in and chat anything, that's also what the show's about, too. Welcome back to the show, Wiley Todd. How you doing, Wiley?
Doing good, Ken. Long time no speak.
All right, let's reset it for those that might be watching. When we started Advice Monday, Wiley popped on in here, became a channel member, called in, and asked for some romantic advice, trying to get the maybe attention of a lady that he had some affection for, but he didn't really know. He was just trying to, maybe get in front of her, figure this out. And is that an accurate description, Wiley?
Yes, very accurate. Yeah.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Do you have an update? Do you have a further need for advice? Where are we? What are we doing?
Well, it's not good news, Ken.
No.
I'm sorry to report.
Okay.
But nothing has happened. And the thing is the situation has gotten worse because she started picking up doing videos on TikTok of covers of like jazz covers. So coming across my feed more frequent than ever. And
her feed. Okay. Yeah. You're seeing her more. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And it just keeps on reminding me of the failure that I haven't done or been to one of these shows yet. And I don't know how to approach it. And so here's some updates with this that's gotten me nowhere.
Okay.
So for the beginning of the year, I made it a challenge to post a video, a TikTok or Instagram reel every day this year. I've completed that so far. So we're about 3 months in of doing it now.
All right.
And on odd, or no, it's not really odd, but every other day I do this series called Oklahoma Artist Shoutouts, basically. So I put them 3 artists that live here in Oklahoma and shout them out. Okay. She's an Oklahoma artist. Okay.
She is. Okay.
Yeah, she is. So therefore, I waited a couple months, like 2 months in, and then I put her on one of the things, tagged her, and left it at that.
Okay.
It's been a couple days since, no like or comment or any acknowledgement of the post. And a lot of people have done that I mentioned them in there. So it's like no acknowledgement. So I'm still like a ghost in this.
Yeah.
And
look, no, continue. Sorry, Wiley.
And then recently I got a new side job where I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it's this thing called So Far.
No,
have you ever heard of it?
No, So Far I've not heard of that.
So Far is basically the concept of
that's wordplay. Get out. That's
get out of
you. It's get out of here. Sorry, go ahead, Wiley.
So basically the concept of it is once a month they announce like a location, like a venue, bar, or whatever, and stuff like that. And you buy a ticket and you go to that location at that time. And there is a show with 3 artists that play 20-minute sets.
Okay. Love this.
And we used to have this locally here all the time. And that's how I kind of got my start in the knowledge of the Oklahoma music business. And they stopped doing it. I applied. I got the job. So I'm the new person doing these for Oklahoma.
Nice. Love it.
So she's a musician. and I could ask her to play. So it's like there's opportunity. There's two ways I can go about this now. We evolved the situation.
Okay.
Where I can go to one of her shows, which we already discussed. The third option is reach out on social media, but we already established that's the wrong way to go.
Right.
So, and then the new option is to connect with her to play at this So Far event that I'm hosting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think? What is the new advice direction?
Yeah, this is great. First of all, I want to acknowledge your pain. I understand the making something on social media, but making something designed to get attention in an innocent way of just like, hey, here's a nudge. I'm a person, and not getting the reaction. No fault of hers or anyone else in that situation. Maybe she didn't see it. Maybe not. But it would send me into a bit of a tailspin. Right? I've been through that. I've been through that lately. I'm going to make something. Is that person going to see it? It turns out they did. But at the time, you don't know. You don't know if it's hidden. So that's it. I would absolutely book her on the show. That is how I make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that's always worked out for me in my life, but I'm also clueless. This was really put in front of my face very recently about how clueless I am and the interests that others might have in me. So I don't have the best track record there, Wiley, but I do this kind of stuff. Hey, you want to be on my show? Or hey, I like your thing. Can I use your thing? Like, I think that's the way to go. Steve, your thoughts?
I think we need to make Wiley famous. I think that's the real answer. I think if we can make Wiley famous so that she organically comes, because like the algorithm bug is there, right? Like there's enough connection going on there where she's showing up on his feed enough where if Wiley then becomes famous in some way, or saves a child from a burning building, or stops a 7-Eleven robbery or something like that, you will then show up in her feed, and then you're now like the chances of you opening that door have now just increased tenfold. So
he's got to be.
And then you also have some juice. Yeah, then you also have some juice just to be like, hey, you're famous, I'm famous. That's how you famous people do it, right, Ken? You guys just go to like famous people parties and like, okay, we're both famous and let's do this.
You look for comparable Instagram follow numbers. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. My people will look at your people. We got analytics, stuff like that, right? That's Wiley. I think that's an angle that we need to at least consider.
All right. So I'm going to get Wiley's thoughts here, but Steve, direct thoughts though on just him reaching out and saying, I'd like to book you for this event because you're a musical artist and I can book musical artists. Do you think that's effective?
I think if you're genuine about it, yes. I think if the angle is only to further your personal gains or ways to, you know what I mean, then
this
I think
is
that's
the rub.
Not good. Yeah.
But speaking from experience, it is always done with a sincere, hey, I'd like to do this thing, or you're entertaining, you should come do. Like, it's always been sincere for me. It's the only way I feel like I can communicate who I am to them under my work settings. So Wiley, your thoughts on anything we've said here?
So I think these are great thoughts because in the many conversations we had, and after this, I got another one. Just thoughts on that I would like your thoughts on, Ken. But
okay, not Steve.
No, Steve too. I don't know if he's seen the show, but I'm just curious what your thoughts on, because I feel like relate in some ways, Ken.
Okay.
But I like this thought because my head instantly goes to, when you say the booking thing, is like, when I'm doing it, there's going to be some malintent into it because in my head, because I want to connect with this girl. But at the same time, I really care about shouting out Oklahoma artists. Right. And my main mission is with these shows to do 3 different genres. And I don't know many jazz musicians here. She's the only one I know. So like, it would make sense.
Here's the thing too. And I think you touched upon it, Steve. I'm not suggesting, because I think it would be poor form if you book her on the show, because you want to, by the way. I believe you. You want to. You book her on the show, and then directly from that becomes, hey, can I get your number? I think that's where it's wrong, and then it cheapens it, and then she'd be like, oh, and she might be right to think so. To me, what I'm trying to communicate is, and I think you're getting it, is you do what you do, I do what I do. I'd like you to see me in this thing, and then that would strike up some sort of friendship or connection. So down the line, whether you engineer it or not, down the line, when you take that chance, it wouldn't come completely out of left field. That's my thoughts on it there. Steve is right to bring up you don't want to be lecherous. You don't want to be disingenuous.
Well, you have to be careful about how that comes off, though, right? Like, I know,
Yes.
Wiley, that's not how you would obviously want to communicate that. That's not even your motivation, right? Because I totally understand where you're coming from with what you're trying to do with spreading the art and all that stuff. And I super dig that, and I appreciate that. But women, rightfully so, are guarded, as they should be, and are always, and because a lot of us dudes are creeps, and as
I mean, let me.
Oh,
when
please.
I say they should be, that's not going. Yeah, because boys will be boys.
right.
I'm just saying.
I know.
Yeah.
Right. No one's.
I'm doing my best to work on the boys. I'm working on the boys.
Right. I'm raising
meantime,
my own to do my and doing my best. But I think just like making sure you avoid that kind of vibe is very important. And understanding that you're aware of, have that self-awareness as you're communicating, just you're building a bridge here, right? We're building a very small one or two person bridge here, whether or not it ever gets used. So what? But there's nothing wrong with building bridges to connect people and places and things. And whether or not this bridge ever gets, a lot of traffic or you guys connect, so be it. But it's there because you share an interest, and I think that's enough.
And it's also what we talked about at the very beginning of this whole situation was how can I meet her in a genuine, organic way of not having to feel like a creep of just showing up to her show. Right. And like, I think I could honestly show up to her show now because it's been months and I've kind of forgotten about it and just kind of lived my life in the meantime and stuff like that. I feel like I'm more okay to show up to her show to see her perform, blah, blah, blah.
It's
like,
it's hard in this world, especially as we're all disconnected. As I've said in my past, most of my big relationships came out of work because that's where most of your time is. And that's the people you're around. And then they're seeing you in your natural environment, or, not saying your jobs or your natural environment. But other than that, I don't know how to do it. I'm not a swipe left or swipe righter. That's not it. I don't know. Sometimes you need a Jar Jar comic book and you go to a comic shop and things start. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Wiley? You never know. But even then, it's like I'm going to manufacture, not in a nefarious way. I'm going to go manufacture an opportunity.
Yeah. I'm going to create a space where this is possible and not a malicious way type of thing. Yeah.
Or you could do what Narcolepsy suggests, to quote Wayne's World. Why don't you just go talk to her, then put Foxy Lady on the jukebox? Absolutely. Foxy Lady. All right. Thanks, Wiley. I wanted the update, but you had another thing.
Yeah. So before I go, I haven't been catching up. I've been super busy. But you watch Night of the Seven Kingdoms, correct?
Absolutely. Check out our reviews on Casterly Talk. Yes.
I will. But something really stuck with me, and I think it kind of relates to the show on that second to last episode. When we see our main character go down and the words "get up" are said. And those really hit me hard in that episode. And related to him. And I feel like with a lot of things that you give people on advice on, or even yourself, and just in the world, Get Up relates to that. So I'm curious what your thoughts on that moment in the show were. Just not really about the show itself, because you already do that in your Casually Talk, but I'm talking about morally and personally, if those words spoke to you in that episode.
Yeah, the whole sequence spoke to me, and I won't go to too many spoilers, but that episode ends with a big moment, a character taking our hero's side that got to me in a moment that, I've been down all year, going back to 2025, and I'm not in a combat trial of 7 to fight for my name or fight other people, but that is it was a journey of standing up for what's right, always doing what's right, and standing out on a ledge. But also there's something about there was something about the energy of Get Up that spoke to me as well. And we did talk about it on Casually, so head on over there for the deeper thing there. But all I can pull in this moment is, that particular episode is one of my favorites. Not a Live series, but of anything I've ever watched.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Ken. Thank you.
Thank you, Wiley.
I'll be back hopefully with a update on just life, I guess. I'm not going to promise anything with this girl because something might never happen, and that's okay. But I'll be back in some way.
You're just creating the connections, creating the opportunities. Yes. And sometimes, see how it goes. All right, thanks, Wiley. Yeah. Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
There you go, Steve. You're locked away, man. You're a long-term contract. Does conversations like this make you feel okay with that?
I love conversations like these, Ken. I've been out of the game for 15 years, man. I'm like this. I love this. Like this is. It's like when a really good basketball player or a good football player is retired after 10 years and he gets to go play a rec league game for a charity or something. Yeah, all right, let me go dunk on all these kids. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, I'll talk to you. You guys want to talk about love? You want to talk about? Yeah, I'll tell you kids how to do it. Sure, no problem. Come sit by the campfire with old Steve.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's like you cannot play rec baseball in Los Angeles. I thought at one point, it would be fun on a Sunday to go because it's all AAA players who retired who are throwing 100. And I watched one of my friends play. He's like, come on, watch me play. And I'm like, dude, that dude pitched for the Rangers. It's like, yeah, absolutely. Did.
All right. Play beer league kickball. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's take. I think Addie got lost at an airport. What did I say, Addie? How are you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hi guys, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. You?
I'm here. It's Monday.
It's a Monday. What is on your mind? I know you don't need advice. What is on your mind?
No, so I do want to add to the last call though. The wild card in all of this is none of you get to decide if she thinks any of this is nefarious.
Oh, of course.
Of course. So, but do you, and I'm being serious here, do you get where I'm coming from? I'm not a nefarious person, so if I approach it with sincerity, don't you think that's good to land? It lands, right?
I understand, but how she perceives it is her reality.
Absolutely. No, I don't disagree.
Generalize it, right? Like everyone's going to digest that differently. So
no, I 100% agree with what Addie said. I just I'm threading the needle on. I can be honest, I'm a pretty good dude, and I've got to work to show that. It's on me to work to show that, because they're the judge, jury, and executioner. Yeah, absolutely. But no, you are right. You are right.
As I often am.
And it's part of the complications and why I sit back and don't take hints for, as it turns out, months.
Same. Anyway, I am here to go back to the beginning of the show, or at least the beginning of the calls, and talk about being somewhere you're you don't show up at the right time or the right place, or in my case, with the right things. I have never shown up for an appointment on the wrong day, or a movie at the wrong time, or a flight on the wrong day. Mm-hmm. But have either of you ever shown up to the airport and tried to go through security without any form of ID?
No, because that is a nightmare scenario that I do not want to get involved in. So I am, and I usually carry my ID and pretty much drive with it, just in my hand down, and my ticket. And I've adjusted to digital tickets. I put them on my Apple Wallet, and then I still print out the old man ticket and have it once I get to the airport. You, Addie, though, what did you do?
I took a train 90 minutes away to an airport, got in the line for the TSA pre-check.
Oh, man.
Got into the front of the line, went into my purse to get the wallet out, to get the ID out, had the wallet, had no driver's license in it.
Oh, no.
So, all right. What do they do? What do they do in that situation? What do
they have a procedure.
This is exactly so. You're freaking out. You do the like in front of them.
Oh yeah. No, I think I cried.
I'd understand.
And they immediately are like, okay, this is a good front. This girl's clearly smuggling drugs. Like we've seen this one before. She doesn't want to hold the ID.
You're a professor of chemistry. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And
I did get detained in Canada once for saying that my reason for going into the country was chemistry, but that's another story.
Look, man. Look. I'm all for improving our borders and all these things. I think a lot of people do not realize how fucking strict Canada is about getting up there. My friend, my friend had to perform his stand-up comedy act to agents in a room with no windows because they were like, "What are you doing here?"
I got taken into the scary back room because I told them the reason I was going to a conference. And 20-year-old me thought she'd be smart and just wrote chemistry on her form for reason of entering country. But anyways,
yeah, okay. So you're crying.
I'm crying at the TSA.
Yeah.
And apparently, if I had my work ID, which is a photo ID, it would have been. I don't think I could have gone through TSA pre-check, but like it would have been better.
Okay. They would have let you swing out to the other line?
Yeah.
Okay.
So instead,
you could have gone with all those pores. Oh, that's cute.
The plebes.
Instead, what happened was I got escorted through the plebes line because I had a credit card and an insurance card that had my legal name on it.
Okay. That's good to know.
But I got walked through, I got escorted through the regular security line and got put through all of the extra checks.
Oh yeah, They checked you for anthrax, the full
take
body
the shoes
X-ray
off
scan, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, no, we don't take the shoes off anymore. Chris says we don't need to take our shoes off anymore.
That's true.
Open and unpacked the bag.
Again, that's not why we pay for TSA pre-check. I'm trying to think. The worst, I have driven 2.5 hours to my parents' home, pulled into the parking lot, or pulled in front of my parents' house and went, I forgot the key to their house. And then, they have a spare. And I kept grabbing the thing that I knew the spare was in, but I kept covering the key. It was in the handle, and I kept looking up. And this is prior to cell phones. So I drove 3 hours back home to LA, got the key, turned around, a 9-hour trip just to house sit for them. So I've done that.
Would you like to know the worst part of this story?
Please.
Yes.
I think I was going to Indianapolis. I got to Indianapolis and met a friend. I was also traveling for a chemistry conference for this story as well. Yeah. I met my friend who works at a different school in Indianapolis, who was also going to the conference. And she was just like, are you how in the world did you come? Like, how did you leave your house without your driver's license in your wallet? What did you possibly do with your driver's license?
Okay.
That it's not in the slot in your wallet.
Yeah. Fair question.
And I was like, well, I had to go to that really shady gas station and pick up that UPS package that they refused to deliver to my apartment. Okay. And I had to show ID, and then it hit me like a ton of bricks because I went to this really shady gas station in this really shady part of town and was so concerned with getting my keys out and getting into my car in a timely fashion and not lingering by the doors. I had slipped my driver's license into the front pocket of my purse.
It's change in routine, right? It's the change in routine. That's exactly how it happens. That's why I forgot the key. And also recently drove all the way to my parents' house. And I forgot my suitcase. So I had changed where I put it. So I know exactly what you're talking about, Addie.
So I had it on me the whole time.
But lesson learned, right? Yeah, I bet I never forgot the key to my parents' house again.
Oh, it has become anytime I go to the airport, I actually physically, and this was my friend's suggestion, she was like, I physically touch my ID to ensure that I have it.
You know what we all need?
Don't just assume
check.
It's like, you have your wallet, but I actually open it up and say, ID right there.
We all need what they give the old folks. We need the necklace with the little wallet attached. That's what we need. That's the key.
Life alert. Yeah.
Well, the life
okay.
alert,
No,
but it's also got
yeah.
everything you need in there, and
Right,
you make fun of grandpa and grandma for having it, but
See,
I think we all need it.
I'm all for like personal privacy and all that kind of stuff, but maybe not Elon, but if some other billionaire figures out like the whole, hey, I can put a chip in your wrist that has like your insurance, your social security, your Blockbuster card, like everything that you can just swipe like a barcode.
The mark
scanner.
of the beast, Steve. You're talking about the mark of the beast.
I'll take it, baby. If it means I don't have to pay $30 to the DMV because I lose my wallet like once a year, and then I go find it in the garage 6 months later, I will. Yeah, a puck in the man. Yeah, dude.
Roger says we need a puck like the Mandalorian. Yeah,
I'm all for it. Like,
why not?
I can't lose my arm. Hopefully,
I am the one who's I frustrate a lot of friends in my life. I don't give a shit about my privacy. I don't care. I don't care. Well, if you sign up for that app, I don't give a shit. You're being watched every which way from Sunday. You are already watched. What are you worried about? You think you're that important that you got anything they want to listen to? No, they don't. So I'm all for the chip. Put it in my eyeballs. Let's do it, Steve. Bring on the Book of Revelation.
I mean, I feel like that that ship has sailed as far. I don't think the chip is the threshold, if you know what I mean, Ken. As far as
it's the big one. The mark of the beast.
Yeah.
The mark of the beast.
Is it the mark of the beast, or is it the mark of convenience and me not having it? I think the DMV just wants $30 every year from me.
I think that's fine.
I was just pleasantly surprised to learn that the TSA has a procedure for you forgot your ID at an airport like a moron.
Oh, they have to, because that happens once an hour,
I
imagine, right?
Yeah. I've done it. Look, there was a period.
I was in the line with like 4 other people.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. There was a period of time in a span of 3 weeks over the summer. I wasn't mentally in a good place, Steve. I left and moved again, changed the routine, and I went shopping. Got to the checkout and had no money, no wallet, nothing. And they got a procedure. The store was very nice both times. They got procedures there. I don't know if TSA is nice. I can't agree with that. I can't say that. DMV is a scam, says Jared. Yeah, maybe. What a libertarian thing to say, Jared. What a Boston Minuteman.
DMV. Jared probably thinks public roads are a scam somehow.
Yeah, he does.
He's one of those guys.
Addie, thank you.
Interstates are a scam. Well, that's
get to where you're going, Addie. Check that ID.
I was going to say I'm not going anywhere, but yes, I understand.
Get there. All right, thank you. No Science Thursday. You are traveling. Speaking of traveling, right? You're off.
I have people traveling to me.
That's nice. That's a good change of routine. A good kind of change of routine.
It is. It's a very good. The stressful part is happening now though, because I'm like, oh, I have to clean because they're staying.
Oh, so you're hosting.
I'm hosting.
Man. Oh,
yeah, I don't do that.
So I did a little bit today. I'm going to do a little bit tomorrow.
Yeah.
The person who's coming gets to sleep in my bed and I have to sleep on the couch. So I have to watch his feet.
Oh, whoa.
Wrong.
This is a boomer thing. Hold on. Stop.
Wrong.
This is an old, I'm convinced this is an old boomer Catholic thing because my parents did this. When my grandparents came to visit, my dad would give up his master bedroom for my granddad and mom, and he would sleep in the guest room. And it was like, I thought it was the weirdest thing. And because I remember I got in so much trouble as a kid because I used to be able to go into my parents' room like no big deal, like they wouldn't really care. But I went into my dad's room to like grab something, but it was my grandfather's room at the time because he was staying with us for that weekend, and I got the shit kicked out of me for going into Pappy's room and I wasn't supposed to be in there. Damn it! That was a whole thing, Ken. So this is a thing. I think this is an old boomer Catholic thing. They sleep in their kid's bed. It's weird.
It's weird. It's very weird. And I'm saying that, Eddie, none of the choices you're making are weird. I'm saying also that I'll peel back a little bit of the previous 8 years of my life. When the cohabitation started, there was a conversation about, this will be the guest room. And I was like, the guest room's the motel down the street. No one's staying in our house. No one comes in our house. Dinner, barbecue, you go to your place. I refuse guest rights. You will not stay in my house. It's my house, my bed.
A bed in your guest room?
No, I said.
Okay, I said
absolutely not. We're not having
a bed in your guest room, but then just don't allow.
But that's my point. My point to this. This is my point. You probably got one, Steve. We don't need a guest room with a bed in there for once a year when some relative you don't like actually comes to stay here. We don't
Yeah.
need that.
Yeah.
Travelodge is just down the street, $36 fair price.
Well, I have a small house and I have 2 kids, so my guest room also doubles as where my 5-month-old son sleeps. So if you want to sleep in the same room as him, go for it. But it's going to smell like shit and he's going to cry. So have fun.
Yeah.
I would like to offer a counterpoint.
Okay.
Feel free to tell me I'm wrong.
I would never.
I want to know. You might have a good point.
There is no guest room in my apartment. There is a pull-out sofa.
Okay.
Mm.
This is the pull-out sofa.
And
Love a
I'm
good
not
pull-out
going to
sofa.
make my 69-year-old mother sleep on the pull-out sofa.
Look, I think you're a good person.
If
This
there
is
was
why-
if there was an actual bed somewhere, it would
Right.
be a different story.
Yeah, no, you're a good person. That's not in doubt. I think what you're doing is fair. That's why I'm not saying you were. I'm saying I'm a bad person. Is what I'm saying. But I get framed that way. Yeah, that course totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. They got great beds at Travelodge. $36.99 price to go. If you can get the Wi-Fi, $5 add on, Steve. Yeah, HBO for free.
Yeah.
Then I'd have to go pick her up in the morning.
It's the greatest thing because they're not there.
Mom can
They're
Uber.
not there when you wake up. Look, you guys are all closer to your families than I am. I don't. When I stay the night, I do sleep on my couch at my parents' house because they got rid of their guest bedroom. They got rid of their. They don't have one at their house anymore. So
See,
I got.
the guest bedroom is referred to as my room
Well, yeah, no. Look, it makes sense
because I'm the only one who sleeps in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. I got an invitation to a 2-year-old's birthday party, and there's a music act coming. That's something you do, Steve? You ever been to a 2-year-old's birthday party? You got families, kids.
I've been to
Oh,
a
like hosted. I
1-year-old's
thought you meant
birthday
am I-
party.
Yeah, was there like a singing? Did they have like a band?
No, they
This
had
is
a
like-
1-year-old
Spotify
birthday party.
playlist
Yeah, exactly. You do
Well,
a
this
of
is a
playlist.
music for the adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 2-year-olds, you don't do. I mean, again, I'm not trying to disparage anyone, Ken, but my humble opinion is, yeah, you do a 1-year-old birthday party because it's hey, the baby's a year old, blah blah blah, and then no one really cares about the kid's birthday till they're like 7, 8, and then you do like laser tag and like those kind of birthday
Right.
parties. But
And
like
the parents
2
sit
through
there on the tables.
right, exactly, because then but then the parents can at least drink. You know what I mean? Like there's other pastimes we can spend our time with. Ages 2 through that are kind of like that's like going to a dog's birthday party, in my opinion.
I've been to a
I know.
lot of dogs'
I know you have.
birthdays.
I know you
Yeah. Okay, I just wondering. Yeah, I'm just.
What kind of musical act?
It is. I'm not gonna. I don't
like
want to
Miss
out
Rachel or
anyone.
something?
No, I don't want
Miss
to out
Rachel
anyone's
you should
name
go.
because I'm attending. I'm going to swing by this party. Oh, it's a wild animal theme party. I like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Special performance by What a Babe music class at 3:45. It's like a little
Music-
band or something.
That sounds like a Mommy and Me
Right.
class that they go to.
So do we
That's
all?
exactly what it
Do
is.
we all? Is it Steve?
Yep. Yes. It's Welcome to Los Angeles' favorite baby and toddler music and sensory studio.
Uh-huh.
So wait. So there. So
it's
but-
like it's a recital.
Da-da. I've got 10 fingers and thumbs. We all sing and have some fun. Is this what I got? Is this what's going on?
I think if
That's
you're
exactly what
happy
it
and
is.
you know it, you're gonna clap your hands.
Say amen. You're going to say amen. That's what we were taught in Sunday school. Okay.
Oh,
Look at
she's
this little-
playing the
look at-
drum.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
this
playing
is
the
I got a
drums.
little
Look how much
drum
fun they're
circle.
having. Yeah, this is what you got. Yeah.
All the parents questioning
Never
their
mind.
choices. Yeah. Oh my
Actually,
God.
Ken,
Yeah.
I changed your mind. Go to this party. Go to
Okay.
this party.
Okay.
Go to this party.
That is gonna be
You know
great.
yeah.
That
Go
is
to
gonna
this
be
party.
great. Oh, I'm gonna sing along. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna do a little dance. Gonna do a little dance. It's gonna be good. Addie, I'm glad you got to where you're going. Enjoy Thursday. And I do truly think you are a nice person, and giving up your bed for your mother is morally the right thing to do.
I see. You know, it just
is.
I'm working on getting to heaven, Ken.
You know, aren't we all? Aren't we all?
Or you could just go like what me and Ken were talking about earlier. Just do the computer brain thing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's true.
That is appealing. You know how much work
Yeah.
I would get done if my brain was a computer?
God,
Right?
Yeah.
Well, RAM prices are, but
anyway,
story
the memory, that's where they get you. Addie, thanks for calling in.
Good night, boys.
I cut her off again. I get it again.
You did it again. You're doing it on purpose. You're doing it on purpose.
Addie's going to have a great case. Addie's going to be like,
absolutely do this purpose.
I'm your only woman that calls in.
Right. Yeah.
And you guys yell at me for giving up the bed to my mother, and you cut me off. Addie be right.
Yep.
Addie be right. Because you saw I stretch back, and I just kind of that's the button I need to press, and then I press it too soon. Oh,
you didn't do that to Jared. Didn't do that to Wiley. Did it to Addie. Just saying.
You're not wrong.
Just saying.
Yeah, Addie has video evidence.
Just pointing out facts.
We're going to round up the show here unless there's any more calls for advice or I've missed anything. If you want to call into the show and need some advice, Mondays is what we do here. Other segments are not done. I've been a little tied up, so I haven't booked people for news headlines and one-star reviews. Steve is cooking up some great bits. And then get in. So if you're in the Discord for the Patreon page, patreon.com/Napzok, got a new member today. So happy to see that. You get in the Discord, there'll be a Blather bracket. We have that already. We're at the Blather bracket. And we'll just say, hey, what do you guys think for our late March 16, round of 16 bracket?
Yeah, let's figure out what it is. Talk about it in the Discord. There's some conversations have started already. There are some ideas being thrown around. Hopefully in one of these shows here in the next week or two, we will have a candidate and go from there.
Love it indeed. Love it indeed. All right, everybody. Thanks for the support. We'll have a show Thursday. Because of this baby party, I might not have a show Saturday. I might do a bonus thing on Friday, so everyone stay tuned for that. Appreciate you all. Stay sane. It's tough and scary out there. That I know, but everybody... stay connected. Give up your beds, okay? Give up your beds, everybody. Don't do what I do. We'll see you next time. Bye.